Today I'm going to be assembling this Lincoln lubrication pump for Miles Hi-Tech's ISO 46 hydraulic fluid. We usually keep it in a pail like this, but it's a little cheaper to buy by the drum, so we're going to tap this so that we can keep on filling this and save a little bit of money. Now you can see this is what that pump will look like when it's done. It's a pretty great pump because it actually comes with a hose. You can just take it, throw it wherever you need it, and start pumping up. And it's fairly low profile, which I think is kind of nice. Now you don't get what you get out of this one, which is that you can kind of fill a pail fairly easily because this spout is going to be solid. But with these, I actually don't like these too much because I always end up pitching my fingers. And I always end up having to hold it with two hands anyway because I have to keep this thing from spinning as I'm cranking this thing around. But these pumps do work. Arguably they work just as well. But this is going to be my fourth Lincoln lubrication pump. We use these things all the time. Ever since I got the first one, I realized this is basically the best drum pump. So in with the handle, we've got all the hardware. It's just a couple of slotted pins with some C-rings. Here I can show you why these are the best needle nose pliers on the planet. These are Kleins. These things are extremely strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up like this. I'm going to shove them onto that cap, and then I can grab and I can twist it out. And they are still in perfect condition. With normal needle nose pliers, if you try to do that, they would be bent and crooked. They'd be all messed up. These things are worth every penny. So this is an extendable hose on here. So the idea is you extend this all the way out, and when you drop this into the drum, it'll hit the bottom and it'll push this up exactly where it needs to go. You can use Teflon tape on this for a better seal, but I never do. And then these are Knipex. These are the best pump pliers that you're ever going to be able to find. They adjust with a push button, and plus they can go real big. You can grab onto some big nuts and bolts with this thing. They're also strong enough that you can use them as a pipe wrench. And they're sharp, so you can nick up the metal, so you got to be a little careful, but you can grab anything with those. They're insanely good. And this is threaded here, so it'll thread into this hole. And this doesn't have to be tight. You can make it tight if you want to, but it really doesn't have to be. You gotta be a little careful with this bag. You can see it's just a pin and then a little C-clip. And these just hook right onto the end. So I'm gonna put the pin in from this side. It'll fit in just like that. And then the C-clip goes right into the slot. There we go. So that's not going anywhere. And you can put the pin in from either side, it doesn't matter. And you can see there's two holes on this handle. That's just for different thicknesses of fluid. All right, so if I put it here and I pump, I'm gonna get a lot more movement out of a single pump. With this one, I'm gonna get a little bit less movement. So if I'm using a very thick fluid, I use this one. This one's kind of thick, it's hydraulic fluid, so I will use this. Go. So the handle's locked in, and I want to try to put it on in such a way that this will be oriented correctly. So I want it to be kind of like that when I'm done. First I'm going to put on the spring. And then I'm going to put on the hose clamp. And this is a Klein 11-in-1. That's not going anywhere. I can run this spring all the way up. Slides out just like that. So this pin is kind of a keeper. It keeps it from falling out. And it's important to know you want to use the right style of pump with the right fluid. This is oil, so these are going to be perfect for this. If you try to use alcohol with this pump, it'll burn it up within a year. This is a drum of isopropyl alcohol. This is a pump by the brand Action Pumps, and this is a THP-ST. So this is good for alcohol. You can use this on alcohol all day for years and years, and you won't ever have any problem. And even though this pump is great for alcohol, trying to pump oil with it would be kind of trouble because it'll be a real hard pull to get anything thicker than alcohol to go through this tube. This one is great for the thicker fluids like the hydraulic fluids because it's a little bit of a hard pull, but you can really get that fluid coming out. The reason you don't want to use this on isopropyl alcohol is because the seals inside there would dry up and you wouldn't be able to create suction inside the pump. So you could pump and pump and pump and you would never get any fluid out. That's why you use this one for oil and this one for alcohol.